Yo, 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 what it do, what it be, y'all? It's your boy, Agent A-N-T, repping that Spell Block Agency. And today I got y'all with another Apex Legendary commentary. And, so this video was supposed to be my usual 15, 20 minute, anywhere, sometimes it'd be 30, but 15, 30 minute video on a mystery and or conspiracy throughout history. But after falling down multiple rabbit holes, I decided why not do something special. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, A&T from the Spell Block Agency proudly presents the first ever Histories, Mysteries, and Conspiracies 3-part special extravaganza, all that. So we gonna cover some of the 3rd dynasty and some of the 4th dynasty in this video, but in this episode we gonna mostly talk about the mysterious Sphinx of Giza. Then in the second video I'll talk more about the pyramids of Giza and the 5 W's on those, kind of who, what, when, where, why, all that. So then in the third I'll discuss the mystery of why there's pyramids all over the world, and for the most part present the facts that are there, and I'll let you know what some of my theories are and some of the things that don't add up to me. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's start with the 5 W's. I don't know about 5 W's if I'll get to all of them, but as far as who built the Sphinx, when, and why, we don't know for sure. There's no inscriptions on the Sphinx saying who it was built for. No artifacts have been found around it indicating who built it or when it was built or even what its purpose was. We do know that it was built sometime during the 4th dynasty or even possibly between the 3rd and the 4th dynasty, and it's generally agreed that the Sphinx was built for King Khafre, and that's actually who the head of the Sphinx is supposed to resemble. Yet even the evidence on that is really shaky. But one interesting thing of note is that tests have suggested that the stone on the head is somehow younger than the body, leading some scientists to theorize that the head may have been recarved in Khafre's image and the Sphinx was already there. And there may be some truth to that theory, as Khafre reigned after Khufu, who of course built the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yet one thing about the Great Pyramid is that the walkway leading to the pyramid is curved, not straight. And oddly enough, it curves to avoid where the Sphinx would be, or, was if it was there. But if the Great Pyramid was built before the Sphinx, why would they need to curve the walkway of the Great Pyramid to avoid a monument that's not there or hasn't been built yet, hasn't even been thought of yet? Also, just to debunk a popular myth, no, the French nor Napoleon had any part in defacing Egyptian sculptures or the Sphinx to hide the history, specifically the noses. Did it happen? Kinda, but not from the French. I mean, it happened way before the French got there. I mean, when ancient tribes took over, they're gonna destroy the other ancient tribes, because that's their shit now. But the Sphinx lost its nose supposedly way back in the 14th century when a Sufi Muslim by the name of Muhammad Saim al-Dar was apparently upset that Muslim peasants or infertile women were giving offerings to the Sphinx. I'm not really sure which one. Story kind of goes both ways, and he destroyed its nose. That's who he's credited to, and it's an ancient Egyptian historian was actually the one who accredited him in one of his writings. So that's really the only source of it. But I will say that I've looked everywhere, and it never says exactly how the nose. I've looked for the writings. I guess I'm going to have to buy one of his books or something and read the exact writing. But I looked online for it. I looked everywhere. And it said only the nose was destroyed. Like, it's only the 1300s. What weapon did bro have that took out only the nose of the Sphinx? And only the nose. Like, I don't know. Spooky. I think maybe it was just maybe the first thing that eroded because it was the thing that obviously stood out the most, besides the beard, which obviously fell off too. But I don't know. Who knows? But apparently, allegedly, the dude who blew off the Sphinx's nose was executed for vandalism. So that's how that story ended, I guess. I don't know. But other Egyptian sculptures and noses were actually defaced like way before France's conquest. And in fact, Napoleon had great respect and admiration for the ancient archaeology of the Egyptians. So he didn't, he wasn't the one that destroyed them. Did they loot some of them for French building projects in Egypt? Oh yeah, for sure. But he tried to keep them as intact as possible, I guess. So thanks, ? But anyway, so that's how the Sphinx and a lot of other sculptures lost their noses. Plus, the Sphinx has been buried, lost, and rediscovered throughout history. For example, it appears as early as Khafre's reign and is around as far as Jedfre's reign. Then it's rediscovered by Tutmosis IV and dug up and restored thanks to a supposed prophecy told to Tutmosis by the Sphinx, and basically the Sphinx promised to make Tutmosis king if he dug the Sphinx out of the sand, which somehow Tutmosis' brother fell ill and died, and that made Tutmosis heir to the throne. So Tutmosis kept his word and dug up the Sphinx and made it kind of like a hub in Egypt again. And for the time being, and the story of this is actually told on the dream stele or stele, I don't know how to pronounce it, no cap, but that was constructed during Tutmosis' reign, which some scientists theorize this story was actually just propaganda to legitimize his reign. But I mean, who knows? 1,000 years, the only evidence we have is literally a stone tablet in the middle. Well, not the middle of the desert, because it's right next to, I want to say it's right next to Cairo, but I know it's right next to a city. But after Tutmosis' restoration of the Sphinx, 1,000 years later, the Greeks, led by Alexander the Great, would conquer most of the Fertile Crescent, if not all of it. And this period is actually where the Sphinx got its name from, as Sphinx is actually a Greek word as far as what the Sphinx actually was originally called before the Sphinx, and like its original purpose, why it was built, like I said, who it was built for, that still a mystery. But they like to attribute it to Khafre just based on archaeological evidence, I guess. But even that's still shaky to me, But I mean, that's just a theory, in my opinion. That's not like bone hard fact, Pause, but still. Finally, during Napoleon's conquest, the French would again rediscover the Sphinx buried in sand and work to restore it, which some restorations over time did more harm than good. But for its age, the Sphinx and all of its ancient wonder are in immaculate condition. I mean, it could be worse, supposedly. Now, there's theories that there are 2 Sphinxes, and the other one is just lost to history, has been buried in the sand. No one knows where it's at. But who really knows? And since the French's discovery of the Sphinx, scientists, archaeologists, and Egyptologists have spent their lives trying to preserve and observe the Sphinx, theorizing just exactly how this strange piece fits together with the puzzle that is ancient Egypt and any clues as to who did it were either robbed or they just got lost to time. So, in my opinion, we'll never know the full truth of what happened to our ancestors out there in the desert, or even the full story of the Sphinx. But the Sphinx and the pyramids are clear relics and reminders of a past, and that our past isn't as clear as we think it is. You know, scientists study this stuff for ages and aren't any closer to figuring out exactly everything 100%, you know? Hell, even who built it, and even the timeline of some of these rulers during the 3rd and 4th century. They have a pretty good idea of most of them, but as far as the chronological history of Egypt, it's all just, man, it's all one big mystery. And that's really, if I've learned anything from like studying it this past, week, few days, weeks, I don't know. It's been a minute since, that I wrote this first one, and now I'm about to do, 2 more videos on it, obviously. So I got some knowledge on it. I'm not saying I'm a fucking expert or anything, but from what I've learned, man, like even the scientists don't even like 100% agree on like just even basic shit, really. Like even who built the Sphinx. Yeah, they said Khafre, but there's evidence clearly suggesting otherwise. And in the next video, I'll discuss and debunk some of the mysteries surrounding the pyramids of Giza. So, like this video if you enjoyed, or leave a dislike if you didn't, and maybe leave a comment on why. Or some of your theories on the mystery of Egypt, or even mysteries and conspiracies I should cover in the future. But yeah, it's crazy. Either way, hope y'all enjoyed, and ring the damn bell, cause I got hot content dropping soon, so stay tuned. Yeah, follow your boy on Twitter at ANT_303. I be streaming on Twitch, Ant the Elevated Gamer, Ant the _Elevated Gamer. The is THA. Yeah, I have terrible branding. I'll be Agent Ant on here. I'm ANT_303 on Twitter, and then Ant the Elevated Gamer over here.
There's one sniping. We're getting sniped.
Or on Twitch. And it's spelled off crazy, but that's just crazy because I really started the Twitch at the beginning of my YouTube, so it's kind of why it's fucked up. But anyway, that's besides the point in the video. A lot of mysteries to cover, especially in Egypt, and like in the beginning of our history, and not even just in Egypt and like the Fertile Crescent type shit, which is mainly what I've been covering, but like eventually I'll get to like the Vikings and ancient China and shit like that, because that shit is even more crazy than well, it's just as crazy. I'm not gonna say it's more crazy, but it's just as crazy. But because even the Chinese had pyramids, which I'll talk about in the next video. I've been just kind of rambling on to waste time.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, leave a comment on some of the theories y'all want to cover. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or if you didn't, leave a dislike. Do what you do.
He's super fucking low.
I think I took a dub this game. If not, then I stopped just short. If I died in the storm, it's kind of whack. I'm not gonna cap. Just been purging all the old footage that I have. Well, it's pretty old in internet terms. Yeah, just purging all my old content on my old PS4, and then for the most part, I'll be uploading Mostly 1080p videos until I get this capture card. Oh, didn't die in the storm. That's lit. Got the red, the purple, and the blue. Looking like we finna take this dub low key. Top 4. Made it out the storm. And even like I was saying, this everybody think the pyramids were made by aliens. I was such a big believer in that. Ancient aliens had me swearing to God
2, 3.
that aliens had some kind of connection, but I mean, I just
Jump in this house. Over here. Oh,
I haven't come across anything like everything that I've come across has been explainable. I mean, they had a system on how they built the pyramids. I used to think slaves built the pyramids, but they didn't. They actually had builders that actually set up whole cities and settlements in order to build these pyramids.
that way.
So they were like clearly these big projects, and it was pretty much like the mark a king made on like the world, pretty much. Like, I don't even think they knew, how big the world was at the time, but I mean, they were known as the 7 wonders of the world, and even the 19th and the 20th century, the Great Wall of China, all this ancient shit. Look, I missed every goddamn shot. What a noob. But just crazy, yo.
I got a ready, Evo.
Like, I mean, it's not like I think. Do I think sometime in our past, like I said, it's not like I don't think aliens aren't real. Because what is an alien? It's some extraterrestrial. And do I think there has been some shit in human history that we just can't explain? There's accurate depictions of it. I mean, obviously, like shit like the sun god and shit like that. I mean, some of it is used, like I've talked about this in one of my streams before, but some of it is used to make sense of the world around them. But really, some of it is like, okay, every single story got a great flood. Every single story got a powerful being or beings coming down from the sky and basically fucking us. Kind of spooky. Do I think they had some hand in human evolution at some point? For sure. But as far as them like building the pyramids and helping with shit like that, I don't. Maybe giving them the ideas too, because that's the thing. There's no blueprints. There's no blueprints for the Sphinx. There's no blueprints for the Great Pyramid. There's nothing. And I'll get to this in the next video. Everybody thought the Great Pyramid is a tomb and was a tomb and this and that. They still haven't found a mummy for it. They found mummies in every other pyramid, this and that. The Great Pyramid has no mummy in it at all. Crazy. And there's really no like markings on it, this and that. But we know it's built during Khufu's era and his reign and shit like that. So it's crazy, man. I'll get to more of it in the next video and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been your boy Agent ANT, repping the Spell Block Agency. There's like a minute left on this video. I'll let y'all enjoy it. I won't talk your ear off no more. So yeah, be safe out there, don't get smoked, and enjoy the last minute. I'm out. Peace.
Yep, they're right there at this wall. Oh, fuck. Let's go. Dropped one. Let's go. Good shit.
got like 4 or 5 on me. Hey, GG, yo.
You are the Apex champions.